Thank you, Mr. President. Asked for a no vote on this, and I actually think that there is more at stake with the outcome of this bill than even the previously hotly debated bills that we have seen in here. We have a country that operates as a republic with democratic institutions. We especially have those democratic institutions here in the state of Colorado. And along those lines, in 2002, the people of Colorado already rejected this idea. And now you are, once again, overriding the clear and stated will of the people of Colorado. That goes against the democratic roots that we have here in the state of Colorado. The bill also calls into question our Republican form of government because it very clearly creates a path for electoral fraud, for people to steal elections. How can you be okay with that? You can now, in the state of Colorado, come into the state from elsewhere, be here on a student visa, anything you want, walk into a vote center or a clerk's office and say, I would like to register to vote. And you can do that without an ID, without any proof at all that you are who you say you are. No proof at all. And then you can produce right out of your pocket a copy of a cable TV bill or an Excel bill that merely has your name and the address that you claim to live at typed on it somewhere. And then you can cast a vote, and that vote will go directly into the bin with all of the rest of the votes that have been cast, and there is no way to pull it back out. No way at all. If we discover that the person who did that did it fraudulently, they have tainted our election, and there is no way to get it back. The bell has been rung. And if they and some of their friends do it repeatedly over a 3-week period, they can sway the outcome of an election. Many of you in this room have won elections by fewer than 500 votes. Several by under a couple hundred votes. 50 people determined to illegally and fraudulently sway the outcome of an election now can do so, and they have 3 weeks and a very clear path in which to do it. No questions asked. When elections are stolen in that manner, it calls into question the integrity of the electoral process and the authority of anybody who was elected in that election. And that authority to govern with the clear consent of the governed is the foundation of a Republican form of government, and this bill calls that into question. It turns us into a banana republic. President Putin would love to have a system like this. Hugo Chavez would have loved to have a system like this. If Ahmadinejad isn't under the control of the guards in Iran, he would love to have a system like this, where the outcome of the election is known beforehand. The only question is, how much did the cheaters win by? You are risking the very foundation of our Republican form of government, and you are ignoring the clearly stated will of the people of Colorado, and in so doing, ignoring the democratic nature of our process here in the state of Colorado. And for what reason? Why is this bill even necessary? I asked the county clerk from Arapahoe County, how many emergency registrations are there in a given election cycle? Arapahoe County has 480 some odd thousand people living there. There were 5 emergency late registrations in Arapahoe County, 5. Now that process is held up as justification for doing this. Well, number one, we don't see the need. And number two, it is significantly different than this because of the nature of that type of registration being an emergency. With a history of only 5 people registering like that in one of the swingiest counties in the swingiest state in the nation, let me suggest that having hundreds register and vote on the same day with no identification would draw some flags if it was under the old emergency registration process. But under a process that creates a path like this that begs for fraud, it won't raise any flags at all. And again, even if it does raise flags, it won't matter. It will be too late. The ballots will be cast. They will be in the mix, and there will be no way to pull them out. And any of you who are elected under this type of election will actually have your authority to govern questioned. And we ought not be doing that. And to think anything else would happen other than to have fraudulent elections occur is to think that you can throw $100 bills down on the sidewalk and expect to come back and pick them up the next day. Members, you need to vote no on 1303. Ignore the direction from national. Stand up for the integrity of elections in Colorado. Don't disenfranchise those who play by the rules. Rather, turn this bill down and leave our election process with some integrity. Vote no.